Hi, this is the second video for section 1.1, so I guess 1.1 video 2. I'm just going to do one kind of story problem example and bring your calculators into it for a minute to show you a little shortcut if you're interested. You can certainly do all of these recursive formulas by hand without a calculator. You'd be totally fine, but some of you I think would like this little shortcut. Some of you might prefer not using your calculator. It's up to you. I just want to give you some options. All right, so when you're using your calculator, a few of the buttons that I'm going to be focusing on is this blue button on your calculator. It's kind of below the screen on the left-hand side. It says second, and we're going to be looking at this button that says window and this button that says graph. Now I'm going to write a few things on the side here. What we're going to be doing is for some things you're going to hit that second button, and then you're going to hit the button that says window. And what you can't see very well on my picture, but maybe you can see on your own calculator, is that it says something like TBLSET. And then another thing we're going to use is that second button again. And then after we hit second, we're going to hit the button on the right that says graph. And you can see there's little type right above that that says table. What happens there is when you hit the second button, it won't do window, it will do the thing written above it. So by hitting the second button first, it takes you to the writing above. So when you hit second and then hit the graph button, you're actually hitting, it's going to give you the table. It's just a little thing how the calculator works. So let's look at the problem I actually want to show you, and then we'll pull out this calculator to help us a little bit. All right, so this question, it might be worth writing down in your notes or just a little bit of information on it. It says a concert hall has 59 seats in row 1, 63 seats in row 2, 67 seats in row 3, and so on. The concert hall has 35 rows of seats. We're going to answer a couple of questions. We're going to write a recursive formula to find the number of seats in each row. We're going to answer how many seats are in row 4, and we're going to figure out which row has 95 seats. We can certainly do just about all of this without our calculator, and let's start by doing that. I personally like making a little table. The first row has 59 seats. The second row has 63 seats. The third row has 67 seats. That's a lot easier for me to look at, and I almost see a little pattern here of the row is your term, your n, and then the number of seats is u sub n minus 1. I definitely see a pattern of things moving up 4 each time. So I'm thinking we've got an arithmetic sequence where the common difference is 4 because we're adding 4 each time. So I think we could very easily and quickly write a recursive formula, answer that first question. Remember, how many parts do recursive formulas have? They have 2. You need to give a starting place. In this case, the value of the first term is 59, and then what do? Is you take the previous term, u sub n minus 1, and you add 4 to it. So if I did 59, plug that in, plus 4, I'd get to 63, which was the value of my next term. Then if I plugged in 63 plus 4, I'd get to 67, which was the value of my third term. You could keep going like this. That's what recursive is. 67 plus 4 gets me to 71. And that's actually going to help me answer the second question. It said, how many seats are in row 4? Well, I added 4 more, and I got 71 seats. So here is the answer to the first question. Write a recursive formula. And then it asks how many seats are in row 4. 71 seats are in row 4. And now it's asking which row has 95 seats. Well, I could certainly just keep going on with my pattern here till I get up to 95. Let's see. The fourth row has 71. The fifth row will have 75, 79, not there yet. Seventh row will be up to 83. 83, yikes. Eighth row will go up to 87. Ninth row will have 4 more at 91. It looks like in the 10th row, there are 95 seats. So to answer that last question, which row has 95 seats? It looks like the 10th row has 95 seats. Now that wasn't so bad because I only had to go by hand up till 10, but what if it wasn't till like the 20th row or something? I would tire quickly of having to do this by hand. So here's where I want to try a calculator shortcut. I think you might like it. So remember how we talked about clicking that blue second and then the window button, which is table set. So then if you look, oh, let me move that over a little bit so it's not cut off. Hopefully what you see is this weird thing here that says like TBL start. What it's asking for is the first value. In that first row, there are 59 seats. So you can just plug in the 59 there and then go ahead and go down. And if you look where it has that triangle TBL, that's asking what's the change. So when you're making your table, it will go up by 4 each time. So that's why we have the 4 there, okay? So what you've done is you've done your table setup. We've set up the table now. Now it's time to actually look at the table. So what you're gonna do is hit second mode, because that mode button, when you hit the second, it gets to the quit. It gets you to a blank screen again. So now we're ready to actually look at the table. So we're gonna do second graph. And look, all of a sudden, there's our table. And you can see the first row was 59, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, and 10th. And you could, so then you see the 10th row had 95 seats. You could keep going if you had to figure out which row had 131 or 135. It'd be an easier way than having to do it all by hand. The list is there for you already. So I just thought you would maybe like that little calculator shortcut. We used that second window button a lot, second window, and then we also actually use that second mode right next to the second to quit to get to a blank screen again, and then we went over to second graph. That gave us the table. So as you do some of your recursive things, maybe that will come in handy for you. Thanks so much. And actually, I think that's it for your videos for today. So what you'll do now is you're done with your homework for tonight. You've taken good notes. Look back. Do you need to look back, add anything, highlight anything, clean anything up? When you come to class next, maybe it'll be in person, maybe it won't. You need to be ready to be an active participant in class, and that means you've watched these videos, because what we'll do the next time we meet as a class is we'll work on this. We'll practice it, we'll answer questions, and I'll have a little daily practice assignment for you to work on that you'll get some points in the grade book for. So that's it for today. Thank you so much. I do hope I get a little bit better and smoother at these videos over time. We'll see. I hope so. Take care.